Well, hello, fog dwellers. My name is Jackson. Welcome to Dead by Daylight Case Files, featuring the Cannibal, better known as the Chili Boy. The Cannibal is the second licensed killer of Dead by Daylight, and his lore can be told by the classic slasher horror genre film, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Do killers perform their heinous acts by the compulsions of their minds, or by external pressures? This has been a long debated matter, but for one, nature and nurture are inextricably linked. Leatherface does not kill from a desire to exert his will on others, to satisfy his urges, or to quiet voices in his head. Instead, he kills because he is scared. Scared that others will hurt him. Scared that his family will be displeased with him. Scared that their shared willingness to eat human flesh will be discovered. He does as he is told. His family loves him, and that is all that matters. All outsiders are a threat in his mind, and all threats need to be dealt with. Like those kids that came into his house, trying to figure out his family's secrets. Leatherface deals with them, protects his family, just as he's been taught. He has many roles. He's a protector, he serves dinner, cares for the family. Grandpa and Ma used to care for everyone, but as they aged, Leatherface and his brothers had to take over. Family is everything to him. Family is security and safety. But even as he did his best, one of the kids got away. He chased after her, but she escaped with help, another outsider, driving a truck. The truck killed his brother, just ran him over like a possum, leaving him with the rest of the roadkill. The world began to collapse around Leatherface as the external threats surrounded him. Thought of the police, taking his brothers, his family. Then, another feeling overtook him. Something bigger that lived in the shadows. Something worse. It was almost comforting, like the fear he'd felt with his family. The fear of disappointing them. He was brought to a place that was familiar, but unknowable. Outsiders would come, but he would overcome any threats. There would be screaming, but he could make the world quiet again. Until the only sound remaining was the blessed howl of the saw. Bubba's chainsaw is similar to the Hillbillies, however with a few key differences. Charging the chainsaw with the alternate attack button causes you to experience decreased movement speed down to 87.5% from his normal movement speed of 115%. Once fully charged, release, and you'll go into a chainsaw frenzy. This causes survivors, possibly multiple of them, within the chainsaw sweep to be instantly downed and put into the dying state. This attack cannot be cancelled once started, but it can be stopped by being stunned or by running into some sort of object. If you run into an object, the cannibal throws a tantrum where he swings the chainsaw wildly for a few seconds, slowing you to a crawl. And that's essentially the gist of Bubba's chainsaw. Now, how do you play the Cannibal? He is one of the easiest killers to understand and the perfect killer to play first and start leveling up. This is due to a specific perk I'll get into later. He's similar to the Hillbilly in that he has a chainsaw, but he could not be played more differently. While the Hillbilly allows for a large amount of map pressure and focusing on a single survivor, Leatherface works best patrolling a tighter area holding a few crucial generators. He still suffers the standard killer flaws, being pallets and windows, but his sweeping chainsaw brutally punishes altruistic survivors. When chasing a survivor and they're about to go through a pallet or window, it's best to use the standard mallet attack. But if you have the time to charge the chainsaw and there's no pallets or windows around, then it's best to rev it up and insta-down the survivor. Survivors have a few jukes they like to use against old Chili Boy. They're mainly going to loop you around boxes or other map objects and hope you get stunned. This also includes running around a tree, jumping into a locker, and fast vaulting a window. You need to be very careful when going around these loops, because if you get stunned, the survivor's going to run a mile away and you're going to lose them. If you do notice that you're getting pallet looped, use the mallet. Better survivors will loop you all day if they see you revving the chainsaw through these loops. They know that dropping the pallet will let you destroy it, so they're just going to keep running through. Another type of gameplay with Leatherface is basements. It's incredibly effective with altruistic survivors, but is easily countered with survive with friends and group chats. This type of gameplay tends to be less efficient at securing kills and blood points, but it does have its place when done right with the right perks and strategy. Not to mention the old insidious basement Bubba. We'll come back to this type of gameplay later. Okay, so now let's discuss the Cannibal's add-ons. The primary add-ons allow the chainsaw to have a decreased cooldown and charge time, along with an increased movement speed and acceleration. Cooldown is affected by vegetable oil, shop lubricant, and grease. Charge time by the spark plug, primer bulb, and carburetor tuning guide. Movement speed by knife scratches and the beast marks. Acceleration by Chili and, well, award-winning Chili. And finally, The long guide bar is a fantastic add-on for increasing the distance at which the chainsaw can down a survivor. Pair this with the chili, or even better, the award-winning chili add-ons, and you'll be downing even the best survivors in a chase. While the chainsaw add-ons have similar properties to our friend the Hillbilly, acceleration is a property completely unique to our Chili Boy Bubba. Acceleration is how fast the chainsaw sweep reaches the maximum speed, while the speed add-ons raise the maximum speed that can be achieved. The Cannibal starts his chainsaw sweep at 87.5%, but with acceleration add-ons, this can be quickly increased to the full 115% movement speed. This additionally gives potential for higher speeds with the speed add-ons such as the Beast Marks. As for recommended add-ons, the Carburetor Tuning Guide along with the Chili, or award-winning Chili, is fantastic for chasing down survivors around those loopable objects. Survivors are often caught off guard when they see our friend quickly running up behind them. Acceleration can be a little hard to control at first, specifically around some tight corners, but it allows you to catch and down many survivors that would otherwise reach a pallet, window, or locker. Another great combination is the Carburetor Tuning Guide along with the Primer Bulb. This allows the chainsaw sweep to have next to no charge up time. Survivors never see this one coming. Now for Chili Boy's perks, we have Salty Flashlight Survivor, Wall Hacks, and Where Am I? Now Franklin's Demise is a highly situational perk, but it is one of my favorites when I see a group of survivors coming in the lobby with flashlights. Franklin's causes a survivor who suffered a hit to instantly drop the item they are carrying, causing them to have to go back and get the item later. This wastes the survivor's time and stops them from temporarily using their item. Nothing is more fun than hitting a survivor that is going in for the flashlight save. It feels so good to be able to counter these plays for once. Barbecue and Chili is undoubtedly one of the best killer perks in the game besides Hex Rune. After hooking a survivor, it allows you to see survivors who are far enough away from the hook, along with giving you some extra blood points for each new survivor you hook. So not only does this perk allow you to find survivors, but it also awards you with extra blood points after the match. The perk additionally helps guide your specific playstyle throughout the match. If you turn around and see 3 survivors' auras across the map, go and take them out. There's no need to stay around. But if you see no one, well, I guess I'm going to camp and try to use my chainsaw for the impending save. The perk can be countered by some specific jukes and survivors can hide behind a generator's aura, but generally this is a must-have not only for Leatherface but for all killers. Knockout is okay. This perk is only particularly good on Freddy with some other perks to aid him. This is more for a specific type of build or unique type of playstyle where you don't want the survivors to know where you are. Generally stay away from this perk as there are so much better ones that have more utilization than this could get you. For some recommended Chili Boy perks, anything that helps you get through some pallets is excellent. Brutal Strength and Enduring can help wonders to shorten the chase and secure more kills. Not to mention, stopping pallet looping. You may be taking a pallet or two to the head in the process, but it helps you to get the kill at the end of the match. As always, Barbecue and Chili and Hex Rune are fantastic perks and help you find survivors and slow the game down. These should always be 2 of the go-to perks for every killer due to their viability in every match. Now, let's talk about Insidious. There has been a rise in Bubba's basement builds, thanks Monto, due to the Cannibal's chainsaw sweep being able to wreck altruistic survivors. Insidious allows a killer standing still to have no terror radius. Mix that with Agitation and Iron Grasp, and you can get almost any survivor to the basement and down any foolish altruistic survivors that get in your way. I don't encourage straight up face camping. That style of play to myself is just boring, and it encourages toxic behavior in the community. However, throw in Territorial Imperative and actually play the game only going in the basement when required. That is a spicy build that requires a bit of strategy in order to pull off. You may get called a proxy camper at the end of the match, but it will be one hell of a game. And finally, here's the Cannibal's Mori. Now it's time to wrap up the Cannibal. While he is not my favorite killer, he does have various aspects to him that are intriguing and fun to play. His ability is very straightforward to understand and allows him to secure kills, making him a fantastic killer for beginners. I highly recommend to all my friends to try him out first, if not only to get Barbecue and Chili. His abilities put him more as a mid-tier killer, since he has nothing to stop pallet loops and nothing to stop him in the chase. But besides all this, he's a fun killer. He's fun to play, and he's my go-to in order to have a fun casual match, when I'm not getting gen rush. And there you have it, the Dead by Daylight case file on the Cannibal. Bubba Jr., or the Chili Boy. Just remember that this is a game and do whatever you have to in order to have fun. My name is Jackson, and I'll see you in the fog.